For some, the only requirement to be a good father is to be capable of financially providing for their children. But this single measurement has given rich men a free pass to act sexually reckless without public scrutiny because, well, they can afford their children. I have a gripe when it comes to rich men, how rich men are interpreted in our society. You can use Elon Musk as an example. Everyone says, oh, look, he's a great father because they see him with his kid on his shoulders, he's walking around the White House and all these things. Well, you can't be a great father if you're a great father to some of your kids, right? And he's allowed to be reckless and create children from all over the country because he's rich. And that's not what a great father is. So in many ways, the idea that a man is only an income earner, that's his only use, well, then that guy gets to be reckless and create children all over the place, and no one bats an eye. Oh, he can afford to do that. That's what it becomes. You probably wouldn't mock these rich men with large wallets or egos who think it's their job to repopulate the world because the children they're fathering are financially secure for life. They might have millions in their bank accounts and live lavishly, but they are functionally no different from irresponsible fathers with several children by different mothers like those you'd see on Maury.
You see, backstage is a man named Darren. Darren is about to begin a journey that only a handful of the guests on this show have ever done. You see, Darren is rumored to have 20 children. And he has come here today to begin the process of paternity testing every one of his alleged kids.
We are comfortable chastising poor and working class men with several children by different mothers because we hold them to a different standard of conduct due to their lack of resources. It's never about whether this man can see his children and teach them to become healthy adults through years of involvement. Instead, it's whether he can fulfill his obligation to, quote, pay for them. Elon Musk is an example of a man who is brilliant in many ways, but as a father, incredibly flawed and foolish and indiscriminately creating children like a philanthropic sperm donor. However, the most important thing a child needs can't be bought by even the richest man in the world, and that thing is time. Time is the one thing we have no control over and you can't buy more of. It's a sacrifice comparable to the love you have for your children. The less time you sacrifice for them, the more likely they'll feel unloved. The problem even the most well-intentioned rich man faces is that he can't be in multiple places at once. If he has a child in Miami and another in New York, he will always be dividing his time, risking his children's patience and emotional well-being. Another great example is the children of athletes with siblings scattered across the country. They might appear financially secure, but often despise their fathers for choosing to be elsewhere rather than with them. Trinity Rodman, who's a professional soccer player and daughter of NBA legend Dennis Rodman, recently spoke publicly about her father's abandonment throughout her life. Despite Dennis Rodman's fame and wealth, Trinity's family faced financial hardship, and he was absent from her life. In an interview on the Call Her Daddy podcast, Trinity explained how her father routinely used his children as props in front of cameras to appear as a devoted father. Then he disappeared for months or even years. During his Hall of Fame induction, he said he regretted not being a better father, but never tried to increase his involvement with his children.
His acceptance speech, he said the one thing he regretted was not being a better father. You just rolled your eyes.
Yeah, because it's just like, do I believe him? Yeah, I do believe that he wishes that he could fight his demons. I roll my eyes because it's like you hear something so many times, but he does nothing to change it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish I was a better dad. He said that in so many interviews. Like, I could pull them up.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Then do something. And I think what the most frustrating part about it is I think with how successful he was and how rich he was surrounded by a lot of toxic people who would take his money and take advantage of him. And because he was in alcohol, he was kind of brainwashed and all that, didn't really have control over anything. I don't know. That was just... So I think, again, the rolling eyes comes from we tried to be that foundation and to be the good people around him. Because in reality, like, we never really asked for anything unless we really needed it.
Yeah.
Like, me, my mom, and my brother, it was like, we just want you. And I think for him, he's never understood the fact, because he's never experienced it. He's had messed up family issues as well. He's never understood that people could actually just want to be around him and to just want to, like, make him happy. He's always thinking money, 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 when it's like, no.
While his daughter wishes her father cared enough to ensure that they didn't fall into financial straits, what hurts her most is Dennis Rodman's consistent selfishness. He only showed up or called when it benefited him.
Paranoid of whatever's going on in his life that he can't like accept what you guys are trying to give him. And so it's like this cat and mouse game where you guys feel like you're constantly being rejected, but you're coming with the best intentions.
Yeah, and it's just hard because it's like, even now, I'm like trying to be honest about it and I'm still giving him sympathy, which is like frustrating for me because in reality, I think he's an extremely selfish human being. I think everything has always been about him. He's gone through shit, but at the same time, I'm like, he loves the spotlight. He loves the cameras. He loves bringing his children on stage and being like, oh, these are my kids. Like, all that stuff. And even like the mind... I've been cussing. That's new for me. I was going to say the mind fuck, but like of him, like for me emotionally, he's put me through like, oh my gosh, like even just him not talking to me for months and months. And then he randomly calls and he's like, hey, like I'm thinking of doing a reality TV show. You want to join? I'm just like, whoa. So like, that's the part where I have so much anger towards it of like, why have I been so nice about someone who's so selfish? And that's the thing with our entire family is like, you said it in the beginning of like us protecting him when he's never once protected us. He's almost made it worse because he has put us in the public light.
Elon Musk is often branded as a, quote, good father when he carries his child on his shoulders around the White House. But you don't deserve the label if you're only a good father to some of your children. Vivian Wilson, Elon's transgender child, has publicly stated they want nothing to do with Elon, even financially. Elon often blames the woke mind virus, but I don't think a single ideology causes a child to cut ties with their father. What this tells me is that their relationship was already fractured because it's incredibly difficult for a child to end a relationship that had a solid foundation. Vivian's gender identity may have been the final straw, but in their own words from an NBC News interview, quote, he was there, I want to say maybe 10% of the time. That's generous. He had half custody, and he fully was not there. Good fathers consider their physical involvement with their children before they're even born. They don't gamble with their children's precious time or assume they'll forgive their absence in exchange for material goods. Good fathers don't reduce their role to mere economic providers to avoid accountability when they're absent. Their children need them to make sacrifices, or they'll suffer from a childhood abandonment wound, questioning their own worth. Good fathers should be far more willing to part ways with their time than their money. Just because they're rich doesn't mean they're good fathers, because father is not just a noun, but also a verb. If you like this video and you want to support my work, please become a subscriber on my Substack at adambcoleman.substack.com and check out the products of XXXY, just like the shirt I'm wearing here, by going to xx-xyathletics.com/Adam. Thank you, and God bless.